https://discord.gg/flat-earth. Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Chi Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
Enemy spotted.
Tiny Cactus.
Shout out to JBP. But sorry, Trace. We were just talking a little bit of gas pressure in the VC check-in, so we just wanted to pick up where we left off. Homie was asking what we
Great
believe.
point, Creation Bear.
Thank you, Tucker. But listen, Tiny, we don't have beliefs to offer you, but what we can offer you is like things that we can know, right? Like the second law of thermodynamics. So let me finish before you go. So as I was explaining, right, high pressure moves to low pressure. You need a container for gas pressure, period. So a dome is something very specific in shape. That's a very specific thing. So I don't know about that, but I do know that you have to have a container for gas pressure. It's an antecedent relationship. And the same way that if I plop down a nice filet mignon on your steak, no fakeness, no tofu, it's real beef. I don't have to show you the cow. I don't have to tell you how many spots it had. I don't need to tell you what farm it came from. You know automatically that came from a cow. It's an antecedent relationship. You don't get beef unless it came from a cow. Another example would be say like a banana. Like if I rolled up to a picnic, I got a bunch of slices of banana. I don't have to show you the peel. You already know it came from one. So this is the same. That's kind of what we're talking about. We don't know about the makeup of this quote container, but you can know that there has to be one based off of this antecedent relationship.
So okay, let me ask you a question then, buddy. So can we? By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm assuming we're both grown adults. If, as an adult, when you have a conversation, the way in your tone is very belittling. Okay, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Earlier. Listen, if I say 1 + 1 is 2 or 1 + 1 is fucking 2, the information is the same. Don't worry about my tone or how I say it. It's the information that's the important part. So don't be feminine and be like, "Well, I'm not like you said."
No, I'm not. That's what I mean. In your tone, it's not. You can say "fucking." I don't care about that. But the way
my tone shouldn't even matter. It's about
okay,
sure,
buddy, sure.
You about an antecedent relationship and
sure, buddy.
The second law of thermodynamics. So,
sure, buddy, sure. I got that.
What you're doing is called tone policing. You're focusing on an emotion or resulting from a message.
Yeah, that's not what I did.
Emotion resulting from the message instead of the message itself, which is a discrediting tactic, and it's not appreciated.
No, I'm okay. Whatever. No.
Dude, so do you have a rebuttal for the antecedent relationship type thing?
He's saying I'm not gonna. I don't have a rebuttal because I've not been bothered doing research on that topic. That's not something I have on hand. I don't have a paper.
Take your time.
He's saying if I found something, you'd most likely have done more research on that specific topic than I have. So therefore, probably I'm not gonna come. I don't think I'm gonna outwit you on that one. I can't. I'm not gonna argue from something I don't know about.
Tiny, it's not for me, brother. It's for you. Like if you're in a court case, right? If me and you were in court, I'm the plaintiff, you're the defendant. I'm not here to convince you. In fact, convincing you has nothing to do with anything. My job is to make my case for the jury and the judge, and your job is to do the exact same. You're not here for me. So don't worry about me. I'm not here to convince you or any of those things.
I'm not here for that either. I'm just saying I can't come with a rebuttal for something I don't have on hand. I can't read a whole paper right now. I don't have the resources to that.
Well, we can just rip the Band-Aid off and just tell you then, if you don't feel like going to look for what we're asking you, we can just tell you point blank that there is no paper, there is no demonstration, there is no evidence of the claim that you can have gas pressure without a container, period.
Okay.
And if you don't want to hear it from me, I've got George. Who is this guy's name?
Your word is fine. Your word. I don't need to hear from an AI or whatever.
It's not AI, brother. I'm an actual scientist.
Okay, buddy. Buddy, I'm gonna just take your word for it. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay.
So you know that there is something keeping around the quote unquote Earth, correct?
Well, just like when I give you a steak, you know that came from a cow. So yes,
So,
it's an
so
antecedent relationship.
okay. So let me just ask you, uh, stars, for example, are they outside or inside this?
Before I even became or learned any of this stuff, back when I used to believe what you believe right now, there was a quote I heard that said, "The greatest mysteries known to man are the sun, the moon, and the stars." So I didn't know what the stars are then, and I don't know what they are now. I don't know.
So
You
you
don't
don't
know
believe that a
either.
star is?
No, hold on, hold on. I know the story just like you do. I know what we're all told. Okay, we all see the same thing, but the thing is, when your team globe, they attach a bunch of stories to the things that we see. So I look up at the star, I look up in the sky and see stars, and the story that's attached to them is they're certain millions and trillions of miles away. They're big balls of burning something. Yeah, I know the story.
So you don't believe that, correct? Is that something you don't believe?
Hell
Or
no, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
believe that. Why? Because again, the claim is that they're a bunch of gas,
Mm.
right?
And you,
When you need a container for that. So yeah, that's a big problem.
I think you're okay. Here's the thing, I'm not gonna say with certainty, but I'm pretty sure there's a difference between a gigantic mass of of nuclear fission going on and you taking fart spray that you bought or fart gas that you bought from your local convenience. I don't think it's the same. I don't. That's not. But there's difference. I don't think the gravitational pull of that is going to keep it also. I don't think it's going to float away. I'm not going to say with certainty,
I
but
mean,
from my basic understanding of physics, I don't think the gas is the same way that works everywhere. I don't. It's not. Space is one big fucking vacuum almost. So I don't.
well, you
It's not,
also need a container for a vacuum as well. So there's a lot of
mm,
problems with the claim. The further you get out into outer space, you don't have to address the finer details. You can know that one, the whole claim of outer space is cap anyway, because you need
mm.
a container for gas
Okay.
pressure. So
So can I? So in a container, can things go out and not come in? Or if the opposite, can things come inside the container and not come, and things can't? So when you have it, and you know that there's a container, right?
well, let me ask
Oh
you this.
no! I'm asking a question, buddy, here
You
first.
already
Do
asked
you,
it. I'm trying to
no,
answer
no,
it.
no. Do you know that there's a container? Yes or no?
We already covered that. So let me just answer your question. You asked if things can go in and out. I would ask you this. We talked about earlier about the leaving out of outer space or leaving the universe. Can things go out of the universe?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Right. Well, where would they go to? Is there like an outside place outside of the universe?
I don't know.
We don't
There
we don't know yet.
might be. There might not be. It's not. I'm not a. This thing. There's nothing wrong with the answer not knowing. You shouldn't know
Mhm.
everything. Not knowing is perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
fine. Yeah, it's good. It's a good answer as well.
Sure, nothing wrong with that. I'd rather not know than make shit up. So sure. But
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
from my understanding, there's no outside of the universe.
Yeah.
So how would things leave? That's kind of what I'm trying to point to you is like
Yeah.
you're asking, well, if things leave and come back, well, probably in your worldview that's not possible. So I would
Yeah.
say it's probably the same for my worldview. If it's
Yeah.
contained and there's no
Yeah.
leaving, there's
Yeah. Yeah.
nowhere to go.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. So hypothetically, in your worldview, things
Hypothetically.
like
Hypothetically.
I
No,
just
sorry.
like saying that. I prefer. I know it's wrong. I just enjoy saying it. It just rolls off the
That's
tongue.
okay.
better.
Okay. Okay. You made me laugh.
Things like asteroids. I don't have to prove the existence of an asteroid to you, know, right? They have entered the Earth. You've seen a fucking.
Whoa,
You've seen.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, I mean, let me finish my sentence,
What do you
buddy.
mean you
Before
don't
you
have to prove it?
prove, have you not seen Have you not seen a shooting star in your life before?
That's not what you just said, though. You said meteorites fall
Meteorite.
hit the ground or whatever, asteroids. So what do
But
you're like, well, there's asteroids. I don't have to prove it. What do you mean you don't have to
no,
prove
no.
it?
But can we? So, do you not believe in the existence of a meteorite?
Have you seen one?
Have I seen a shooting star?
That's not
Yes.
okay, that's not the same thing.
Have I seen a meteorite inside a museum? Yes.
That's not the same thing, bro.
Have I seen one fall, then picked it up on my hands? No. Have you?
Yeah, me neither, bro. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, so why
Have
are
you?
you saying like I don't have to prove it? Like you've never even seen one.
I've seen one. Yeah, I've seen one
But
physically
in
in
a
a museum.
museum. Okay, that doesn't
What?
exactly mean that what you saw in the museum fell from the freaking sky, bro. Like that.
Also, Tiny. Yeah. I mean, I'm from London, If you go to the Natural History Museum, you'll see a giant T-Rex there. Probably one of the first things you'll see, unless it's moved off somewhere else. Did you know that none of those bones are real? They're all prosthetic.
Swear down.
It's not a real T-Rex.
So
none of those bones you see on display are real.
Even if listen,
Yeah,
even if you
I'm
were to
convinced.
believe, well,
It's proof. You can just look it up. Stupid, simple proof.
Tiny, regardless of what you believe,
They're not hiding it.
they
Jim Chips.
admit that they keep the quote real bones somewhere else.
Okay,
So
that doesn't
he's-
matter to me. That's not what I'm talking about.
what Jim is saying is actually true. Is that just because it's in a museum doesn't mean it is what they're saying it is. They're showing you a big T-Rex with bones. They didn't dig those bones up from the ground. They even admit that the real ones are over here somewhere. So, and also, they claim they got moon rocks, and those are also in museum. Well, there's some people that tested those quote rocks, and guess what they turned out to be? Wood.
So it's petrified wood.
Yeah.
So which rock did they test? They went into the museum and they just said, "I'm gonna take a piece of that meteorite."
The point is, just because you saw it in a museum doesn't mean it is what they're saying it is. You're like, well, I saw.
Okay.
I don't have to prove meteorites because they're in a museum.
Okay. So what do you think a shooting star is, for example? Then?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So it's just,
how would you know?
how would I know?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I acknowledge sometimes there are people who are smarter than me and do the research.
Who? What research? Let's not be vague.
Wait. I assume that an astrophysicist.
This is what people do. Like, well, there's a bunch of big brain guys that figured out the answers. That's
listen,
like having imaginary friends.
I like to believe that an astrophysicist spent his time in university not going to act.
Who?
Let's get hypothetical. I'm just gonna hypothetical.
You're hypothetically saying there's answers.
My cousin Mikey, he's an astrophysicist.
Okay, well that person doesn't exist. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
How can you prove that though?
Well, this is your claim, so it'd be on you to prove it. The fuck?
I have a picture of my cousin Mikey on my phone.
It doesn't verify what you're saying about him.
But let me talk. So my cousin Mikey.
The point is, listen, this is what people do. They say, well, I trust all the scientists. Well,
I said I trust my cousin Mikey.
Okay, well, you made that up after I pressed you for.
No, I didn't. I just gave you an example. I didn't think I needed an example beforehand.
Okay. Well, anyway, regardless, this is what people do. They say, well, I trust all the scientists. Well, if this was a court case, I'd be calling one of your witnesses to the stand. So let's call Mikey to the stand. What does Mikey got for us?
Mikey, should I call him on the phone right now?
A picture of him isn't really cutting it.
So you want to call Mikey? No, because Mike lives in a different time zone and he's asleep right now. I don't want to wake him up in the middle of the night.
Okay, well, this is...
Stop the cap.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really making a case, bro. Like,
okay, let me ask you a question.
This guy that I just made up, that he has the.
Bro, it's my cousin Mikey.
Okay,
bro. Why did I make up my cousin?
Just chill out.
I'm chill. I'm perfectly calm.
What about this, Tiny? What about this? Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the most famous, astrophysicists, I think he's called, right? He claims multiple times. It's a funny video that I watched. He claims the Earth is spherical. He claims the Earth is now, 10 years later. He's like, oh, the Earth is more like a pear shape. What? What do you mean pear? What do you mean a pear? What do you think about that, Tiny? Scientists like claiming this one and that one.
Now, what about this? Let me ask you a question, buddy. These scientists, right? Do they go to acting school?
Let's get an answer for the question first.
For my cousin Mikey?
No.
No. About the Neil deGrasse Tyson claiming the Earth looks like a sphere. When he claimed also it looks it's more of like a globe, spherical shape.
What the answer is? I don't know. He's a fucking moron. I don't know.
Maybe.
Why would he? Why are they giving him a microphone to quote educate people? He's the quote scientist that you believe in. So why is he a moron all of a sudden now that we've called him to the stand?
I'm not saying he's a moron. That's his knowledge.
That's exactly what you just said.
Yeah, you just said he was a moron.
He might know things here and there, but when you do talking in front of a fucking microphone 24/7, that's what you paid to do. You say, I'm gonna assume he tends to say a lot of shit.
He mistakenly said it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not. I haven't said that. I'm not. I can't read his fucking mind. Can I?
Bro,
when I read his mind, I don't have a fucking brain riser. Look, I'm gonna ask you, buddy. Let me ask you a question.
People
Let's
go
just-
globe whisperer real quick. They're like, "Oh, well, actually, what he meant was not what he said."
I don't know what the fuck he meant. I'm not. I don't care. I can't read his mind.
Okay, well, he's the quote scientist, like
He
Mikey.
said what he meant.
Sure. I don't. It doesn't really matter. I don't.
What do you trust? You said you trust the scientist, bro.
No.
What
I
do you
trust.
believe?
I trust my cousin Mikey. I don't trust Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Why don't you trust Neil deGrasse Tyson? They give him a microphone. I don't. No one's ever heard of Mikey.
You don't
Yeah,
know Mikey?
who's Mikey?
Imaginary
I
person
know.
you made
I
up.
know Mikey. I know Mikey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
He's your cousin.
Who the fuck is
Exactly.
Who the fuck
Now-
is that guy?
Now, can I ask a question? Did Mikey go through 6 years of university, or did he go
that
through
person
acting school?
doesn't even exist.
No,
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
Let's assume Mikey doesn't exist. Right?
Let's not. Let's not even worry about it. Let's stick to the
let's-
topic at hand.
Let's not. Oh,
okay?
let me ask you a
Let's
question.
move on
Mikey.
from your cousin Mikey.
Okay, let me ask
How
you a
about
question. So these
Okay.
scientists, right?
Ooh,
What are they? Let's just put them in a group. Let's just say a
no,
scientist,
let's
right?
not. Let's
I'm not giving
not.
a specific name.
Because this
No.
is what- I already explained.
I'm
You
just-
guys do this all the time. Well,
You
there's this
guys,
vague
it's just
entity-
because I'm black.
Yeah, listen. This is getting old real quick, Tiny. You gotta reel it in a little bit, all right? The acting's getting
Come on,
pretty
man.
rough. But people do this all the time. Oh, I believe all the scientists. There's this vague entity, this shadowy group. Okay, well, who? Why do you believe in these imaginary people? You've
I
made
didn't, I didn't say I believe in him. I just have
Yes,
I
you
even
did.
finished my have I finished my current sentence? I might have said I said it earlier. I'm
You
gonna,
can barely
I-
even get a sentence out, my brother.
because you keep interrupting me halfway.
Uh,
But sir, do you know that in order to have a big ball of gas, you have to have a container?
Unless you can show otherwise.
Yeah, but he's saying if I can finish a sentence, I might be able to get a bit more out. Okay, now I speak really. So he's saying these. Let's just the quote unquote people they put in front of a microphone. Do they
Like
go
Neil
to?
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, let's just say these. Let's put them in a group. The people.
Why are you this? Look, listen. This isn't.
Let me
a
finish my
podcast, so you
fucking
don't- I know
sentence.
what you're trying
Jesus
to
Christ!
say. I know what you're trying to say.
What? Finish my sentence. Read my mind.
I got
What-
you guys act like you're about to get a Nobel Prize for repeating this.
I didn't say that. What did I say?
Repeated here. Listen.
And go
No
ahead,
one
say.
cares about. No one cares about. So you think they're all actors? No, well, like, dude, we're trying to address the actual evidence on the table, the
Okay.
claims on the table. So the
But I'm
claims-
asking, what do they get paid to do?
Why does that matter?
Because if they're on the government payroll to do nothingness and just lie, the
Listen,
fuck is
that
it?
has nothing to do with anything. Let's
Why
actually
not?
address the claims on the table. The claims being one of them that you can have gas pressure without a container. It doesn't matter what any
I
man
don't-
says. It's about what can be demonstrated. So
That-
forget your scientists or whatever.
Mm.
That cannot be demonstrated. Period. It's a violation of
But I want
natural
to.
law,
I want
no
to
matter
like
what
maybe
anyone
talk about
says
that
about
actually.
that.
What do you think the sun is, Christian Bear?
Again, no. I already said this. No one knows. You don't know. Tiny doesn't know. No one in this panel knows. Nobody
cousin Mikey knows.
knows. Mikey doesn't know. Mikey
Yes,
doesn't
he-
exist.
But what if it is a gas? A bunch of
How would you-
gases
the question, how
in
would
nuclear
you-
fusion.
That's not
fission.
just automatically true because they say it. So how would
Right. So then the conversation kind of ends there. Really.
yeah,
If none of us
why we
know.
try to get people to come back down to the ground because you know what you can do is test things here on the earth. You can actually test the surface of the earth. You can't go up to a shooting star and test that.
No. Yeah. Good point. We also can't. We also can't really create a star for testing. Like that would kind of ruin the whole solar system.
Right, which kind of goes back
model,
to no one
quote,
knows
quote.
what those things are. Okay, so that's why it's come back down to the ground, Tiny Jim, and we can actually test things on the surface of the earth here. That's what this is all about. Listen, this topic doesn't mean answers to all of life's mysteries. It's simply what is the surface of the earth doing? So, Tiny, you gotta reel it in, bro. You're
Really? No, but I'm just saying.
Listen, let me just
there
have you
is-
do this, Tiny. Why don't you take 30 seconds, look around you, right? All the surfaces nearby. Are you inside right now or outside?
I'm actually currently in the woods, walking around the forest.
Yeah, so you're gonna. I mean, you're not gonna be on. Not gonna be here very long if you can keep up the acting. But
I'm inside. What's up,
regardless of
buddy?
where you are, look around you and let me know if you. So the surface is around you, right? I'm proposing that there's only two options here.
Mm.
I'll give you some examples. The mouse here in front of me is curved, right? It's got curvature to it. It's rounded, right? The screen of my computer is flat. The back of it rounded. The table that this is on is flat. Okay, the cup here next to me is rounded. So I'm challenging you is there a third option here? Or would you agree that that is a true dichotomy?
I don't know.
Look around you. Take 30 seconds if you need it. Look around and see all the surfaces here. I've got surfaces that are flat and surfaces that are rounded or not flat. So do
I
you
got a
see a
few-
third option?
Shit, a square?
That's a shape, bird brain. I'm talking about surfaces. Look, sure you can figure this out. Let's just rip the band-aid off because I don't think this guy's really here in good faith. There's only two options for surface description. It's either something can either be curved or it isn't. Period. There's no third option. So what we're saying is that the surface of the Earth can only be doing one of those two things. That's what the subject boils down to. The
Sure,
answer is
buddy.
newsflash. It's not curved.
What's not curved? The Earth?
The Earth.
And you saw that from what exactly?
Again, I'm trying to point. You didn't even take 30 seconds to look around your own surroundings.
I took.
Hold on. You didn't even look around you to understand that there is a dichotomy here. I don't have to, quote, see the whole thing to understand that the surface can only be doing one of two things.
And that is?
Again, we just covered this. It's
Sure.
either rounded or curved or it's not.
Okay.
Okay. So what you can do is go out to the field in reality and test the surface of the Earth to see which one of those two it's doing. Let me give you an example. Say, let's take a hood of a car. I imagine most hoods have curvature to them, right? Unless you drive like an old Cadillac or something.
Shit, so I drive a 98 Mustang. Don't know the curve on that one.
Pretty sure it does. Actually, I'll get a picture. Fox body? Is that a Fox body?
I don't know what the fuck the English word is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
98. Let me get a 98 Mustang.
No, not sedan. No, I missed a 68.
Let's hold you accountable. Let's
oh, 60. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you.
90, 60. Jesus Christ, I'm at 90.
Yeah,
60.
Hey, you're a bad actor, bro. Let's just.
Bro, I said 60. I didn't mean fucking. Look, English is not my first language, buddy.
Yeah, sure. You're a horrible actor. But anyway, we'll start with the 98 Mustang. If you look at the hood there, you see how it's got curvature to it?
Yeah.
I don't mean the 90, I mean the 60.
Okay, regardless.
Yeah.
You see the hood?
Sure. Is that even a fucking Mustang?
Even the 68 Mustang's got some curvature to it.
A little bit around the back, yeah.
Yeah, just a wee bit. All right, so let me just get a screenshot of the 68. Either way, you're being difficult. I don't know why you're being difficult, Tiny, but you can see that the hood has curvature. Yes.
There's a bit of curvature.
Okay,
slightly.
Great. Sure, of course. So let's take that hood, and let's blow it up to the size of a state or a country. Quite big, right? So if you wanted to test that surface to find out if it's curving, what we could do, well, say you had something like a laser, and you shine this laser over the surface of the hood. If there's any deviation whatsoever away from that laser, you automatically know it's curving, period. So that's what you can do in the field. You can look for this, quote, deviation of the Earth away from your straight edge. The point is, it can only be doing one of two things, right? It's either curved or it's not. So what we're telling you is that it's not curved, bro. And you can go into the field and conduct these tests on your own. I spent a month in San Diego doing long distance observations. People have done laser tests.
That sounds interesting.
Now, when you went out, there's no curvature, bro.
When you went out to can I ask you a question? When you went out to do those tests, did you go out to prove that the Earth was flat, or just you didn't know? Which one was it? Did you want a genuine answer? Just want confirmation in what you already knew?
Hold on. We just went over how there's a dichotomy here.
I just asked you, but that has nothing to do with the fuck we just went over.
It absolutely does. So if you can focus and pay attention.
What was your motivation? What was your motivation going down there?
This isn't a psychoanalysis here.
I'm not doing a psychoanalysis. I'm asking.
What does it matter what the intentions were?
I just want. Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious.
Tiny.
Chill out. Chill out.
Chill out. This isn't a psychoanalysis. Oh, how do you think and what are your motivations? It's about what the surface of the earth is doing. You only have two options, bro. That is what it is about. You can go into the field yourself and find out what it's doing. Not about my motivation or what I believe or what my favorite color is or any of those things. It's what is the surface of the earth doing, this or that. It's only two options. Just like the hood of a car, it can only either be rounded or it's not.
Buddy,
Period.
buddy.
So that's what we're trying to tell you. It doesn't matter what I think. It's about what the surface is doing. So
yeah, buddy, I think I'm not here to prove to you that you're for
yeah,
wrong.
we know you're
yeah.
in bad faith.
I'm not in
using you
bad
as an
faith.
example at this
I'm here
point.
for shit. No, I'm not here in bad faith.
We're
I'm
using
just
you as
asking.
content,
Yeah,
so just
go
chill
ahead,
out.
go ahead. Bro, I'm just asking. I don't.
You are in bad faith.
Sure, you read my
Yeah,
mind.
you were complaining about my tone earlier, and you're like, buddy. You're not here in good faith, so just chill out. We're just going to use you as an example at this point.
Ooh, God forbid. Bro, you can have a conversation like a normal grown adult, can't you?
Yeah, it's kind of what I've been doing.
No, it's not. The way you carry. You can just speak like you don't gotta do all this, the whole bit or the act. Just speak like a normal fucking man. See,
Bro,
that's not how a grown adult acts, is it?
So, just reel it in a bit, dog. Like, we've been doing this, all right? We don't need you to lead the dance here.
I'm not saying lead the dance. I'm asking. You don't have to
don't know
fucking
what you're
wiggle
doing.
around.
So just
I don't. I'm
that's
sure you
why
have
we're trying
people
to point
coming.
you to the. We're trying to point you to the. Listen, that's why I'm trying to give you an example. The surface of the earth. Pay attention, bird brain. There's only two options here.
Swear down.
So that's it. You don't have to listen to what I say. Go into the field. Conduct your own tests.
But he's saying
I mean,
we both know I'm not gonna do that.
No, I did do that. It's up to you. You're on your own journey.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I
not
said,
gonna do that.
well, you can remain in your whatever you're at now, but
Sure.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Because that'd be a waste of my time.
Why is that?
What the fuck would I gain from it?
Not being
The truth,
yeah,
Proving your arguments.
and the truth from it.
What argument
Seeking truth.
what argument did I make? I just asked a couple of questions. I didn't say I just asked questions.
No, you already said your buddy Jim already threw you under the bus. Said you're a globetard, bro. So we already know what your position is.
You know my position, but what claim have I made?
You don't have to make the claim; it's already made for you. This
Sure,
isn't
but
BYOB where you bring your own claims. The claims
I
already
didn't say
on the table.
yeah, but I just had.
So what I'm
Buddy, I'm
telling
not
you,
here.
you don't
Hold on,
have
buddy,
to make the claim. It's already on the table. We've been addressing it the whole time. One, we talked about gas pressure. The claim is that you can have an open gas pressure with no container. We already discussed that. You didn't have to make that claim. It's already there for us to address. Same thing with water and the earth. It's claimed to be curving. We're telling you that that's a dichotomy. It's either curving or it's not. And you can go into the field and test for that, and it's not there. So this isn't, you don't need to make the claim like, we're not waiting around for you to claim it's a globe. We already know what the claim is. So, what's up, Mickey? You wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I just want to see if the guy knows if the Earth is a globe or not, and that's a most interesting point right there. Do you know if it's a globe or not, for the gentleman?
Buddy, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, if I can get a full sentence out there.
Can I get a yes or no? Can I get a yes or no on that? I don't know. You just told the guy.
I'm not gonna give you a yes or no. I'm not gonna give you a yes or no. You guys don't give me a yes or no. I'm not gonna give you a yes or no. I'm not gonna give you a yes or no.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You just finished telling the guy, "Can't we just talk like men?" That's what I want to do. I want to talk to you like a man. I don't want to talk to you like some child or some rhetoric. I'm asking you a question. If you can give me a yes or no like a man would, that would be great. Can you do that?
I'll give you a yes or no. But you're gonna argue like your buddy over here going on fucking tangents.
I'm not even talking about what he's saying. I'm asking you a question, bro.
But if I come in here, right, and I ask a question, I don't get a yes or no. Why the fuck?
Why do we gotta talk? Why do we gotta go into why can't you answer a question? Like people just want to know things. Yeah. Would you claim that you know that the Earth is a globe or not?
I'll give you a yes. I will say yes. Mm-hmm. Sure. There we go.
Okay.
I give you a yes or no.
All right. So the answer.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't know. But the answer that precedes would be, if it's a yes, then how do you know it's a globe? Like, that would be... People want to ask questions, right? I mean, like, obviously...
Yeah. But let me ask you a question, though, right? What do you...
Why are you not answering mine, bro?
What's your question? I didn't hear it. All
right, so the question was, if you know that it's a globe, how do you know it's a globe?
How do I know it's a globe? Okay,
Yeah, if you know it is, like, how do you know it's a globe?
sir, will you stop with the fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire
Stop with
noises?
the feelings, bro. It's okay. You don't have to get triggered. So just answer the
I don't-
question.
Bro, Jesus Christ.
All
What
right,
was the
how
question?
do you know it's a globe?
How do I know it's a globe? Look, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, well, have you done your own research? I'm gonna say no. So she skipped that whole part.
No, I'm asking. I'm not talking.
Holy
We're not
smokes.
talking about me, brother. We're talking about how do you know
Bro,
it's a
how
globe?
do I know it's an Earth? This shit I've been taught in school. You know that's what I'm gonna say.
I know, okay, that's what
Yeah.
you've been taught at school. That's the generic answer, but like
Yeah.
specifically, how do you know it's a globe?
How do I know?
Yeah, like if somebody was to question you on the street, be like, dude, how do you know it's a globe? What would you tell them? That's what I was taught in school, or I mean, like specifically, how? How do you know it's a specific?
I'll probably call them a weirdo and walk away.
Well, that's an easy out for
What?
anyone not using their own mind. Like the thing, check this out, man. The thing we're trying to ask people, like everyone who comes in here, is how do they know, like that they know that it's exactly what you've been told.
Sure.
So we're asking this question because a lot of people take it for granted, the information that. So that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just asking you, like, if somebody was to question you on the specifics, how could you then demonstrate to someone that you know it's a globe? Like, what would you point it to? You know, like, it's easy to just call somebody an idiot and walk away. That's the easy out, man. Anyone can do that.
Yeah, but okay, can I ask you a question then? Because your buddy really doesn't want to do fucking yes or no question.
You
Bro,
gotta answer the question before you just move on randomly.
I'm not talking to you, buddy.
Well, I'm talking to you, and again, you don't lead the dance here. You're not.
I'm not gonna say I lead the dance.
So
There's a conversation. Your conversation
you'll do what
is.
you're told, basically.
I'll do what I'm told, bro. It's a conversation. I don't think. Do you understand how basic social interactions
Well,
work?
you don't clearly.
Clearly, I don't. Yeah. It says the guy with high functioning autism.
Yeah, bro. You can do what you're told.
All right. So like, just right back.
Told.
Yeah, back to listen, man. Like, yeah, thanks for the additives, guys. But like, I just want to get the guy to tell me how specifically, if he was asked on the street how he knows it's a globe, without telling the person they're an idiot, specify to me how you know it's a globe specifically.
How would I? I don't think I'll be able to on the spot.
So you don't know, right? Would that be the answer? You don't know?
I wouldn't say that's a no, don't know. I just said I wouldn't be able to give a fucking answer.
Well, then that would be I don't know, right?
Sure, let's go. I don't know.
Okay. Well, then the answer would be I don't know, and then the guy would be like, okay, well, I thought you said you knew, because in the very first instance when I asked you the question, do you know it's a globe? You said yes. So now the next question is, how do you know it's a globe? And you said, I don't know. So do you see what I'm trying to get you to see here is that most people, not just you, sir, most people will answer the same way. They'll answer it because they think that they already have in their mind that it's already a globe because everybody believes it is. It's kind of like a blind faith belief. You don't know that it's a blind faith because you've been taught, like in school, how to believe. So basically, the answer right now should have been preceded by something very simple. Like, I mean, if it's a ball, there should be some geometry to it, right? Like, you'll be able to measure it and all kinds of stuff with it. But like right now, it seems like people struggle with, not just you, but everybody that I asked this question to, they struggle with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know you.
I just want you to identify that, man. It's not just you; it's everyone that asked this question, because the school systems are not designed to like give people ways how to answer this. They just tell you, like, blindly say, like, yeah, just you should like make fun of somebody that asked you that question instead of being like, oh, you know what?
This is a really good one.
Huh?
This question. This is a really good question to place to somebody. How do you know that?
Would you let Jermaine over here finish? This is the first time somebody here.
Relax, you're a guest here, so just chill out.
I don't know who's chiming in right now, like the other guy, but yeah, I just want the guy to know, like, it seems like when people come into the server, and I know what it feels like, okay, because a lot of people come in here and it feels like, you know, you got to be like on a defense stuff. It's not that, man. Trust me. A lot of people that come in here, they get put this way, but it's everybody, man. Everybody gets asked this question, and a lot of people, they really don't know, and that's all right. Like, I wouldn't call anybody idiot or stupid or because they don't know. What I would say is you're being honest. Like, if you're being genuine, like, you're like, shit, I don't know, like, obviously. But yeah, it's just.
I can vouch for him, Mayhem. He's being genuine. He's here in good faith. He's not trying to.
Jim, just be honest,
Jim. He's not. So
okay.
Jim, just. Oh, he's like, buddy. I appreciate, bro. Not gonna lie. I appreciate your fucking tone. I like the way you talk. I want to. Yeah, bro, not gonna lie, bro. You seem like 100% a cool fucking dude. Your buddy over here, not that much. But like, here's the thing. See, that's what I mean. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of weird.
All right, so like, what would you think would be wrong with that? Like, if I ask anybody else, because honestly, I want you to stick around. Because if you stick around, then you'll hear me ask the question to other people, and then you'll hear how they respond.
Bro, here's the thing. The thing is, right? You guys, I'm gonna assume you've done a shit ton of research on this topic, right?
You could say that, yeah.
We're here to teach you.
Bro, is your name Mayhem?
Again, you're a guest here. This is an open panel. People can speak. So
sure. No, but here's the thing. A lot of people, including me, don't do research on this because it's not something most people think. Okay, this is something I need to do research on because it's like do you do research? Like in most people's mind, that's a very basic thing that doesn't need more research that is already done. You follow?
Yeah.
Or it's not like yeah.
So would you say that other people have figured this out? Like, let's say an astrophysicist or a scientist, somebody that you could probably say that has answers that you don't have. Would you say that?
I'll say probably, yeah. If an astrophysicist came and said some shit, I would not argue with them. The same way, if a historian came along.
You just did. Hold on. You just did. Your friend Jim presented you an astrophysicist saying the Earth was a pear.
Yeah, buddy, I'm gonna lie. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with. I didn't really have it.
What you're saying doesn't match what you just said.
Yeah, I was kind of bullshitting with you.
Contradicting yourself.
Yeah, I was kind of bullshitting with you. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with Mayhem, where he sounds like a genuine human being for once.
I'm being as genuine as I possibly can.
You seem very.
It's in a genuine way. So you just now said that you would listen to the astrophysicist. Jim presented you what the astrophysicist said, and you called him a moron and said he was wrong.
I said I don't know. He might be a fucking moron. I don't know.
So which is it then?
I don't, buddy. Can I talk to Mayhem for a second?
No, this is an open panel. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Yeah, you can say, but I would prefer to talk to Mayhem if that's okay with you. Aww. Can I talk to Mayhem?
No. You can
I can't? So are you better than Mayhem?
Has nothing to do with it. You claim that you trust the astrophysicists if they said something, but earlier you said you.
I would have more trust. I have more trust. I said look, when Neil deGrasse Tyson said some shit, but stop the fucking sound effect. What the fuck is he using the sound effects? Jesus Christ.
Triggered, bro. Relax.
It's just fucking weird. No, but
I just caught you in a contradiction. That's all. So
shit, straight out. Okay, you got me. My whole shit is done.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, can we move on from that?
Yeah. What I was going to say is go on.
Man, what the fuck? Man, where the fuck did you? What was you saying, Mayhem?
Yeah, I'm talking about like the people that come in here. They usually say that they know, and then when they're pointed out that they don't know, they usually defer to like a scientist or an astrophysicist or somebody that they think is more educated, right? Yeah. But then I would proceed to say that if we were to show you people that actually would claim that they are an astrophysicist that come in here, and I ask them the same questions, and then they would say, like, in my experience, there isn't any answer to that question, or there's no way that we could directly know that. Like, there's like, they would say something like in the way of it's a whole bunch of little pieces of information that you put together like a puzzle piece that makes up what the Earth is as a globe. Like those kind of answers, like if I was to tell you that's what they respond, wouldn't you think that's a bit suspicious? Instead of them saying like, no, there's some way we can just go out and test for this, like, and this is how. I think to me, if somebody was to rely on like let's say an astrophysicist or someone like in the education field, I think that they should be able to have those answers provided, like to you and to me and to everybody. At least they owe us that much, right? If we rely on them for that information, if we say, you know what, well, I'm not going to spend my time looking at every single little piece of information. At least somebody knows what they're talking about. But if we were to bring those guys who supposedly know what they're supposed to be talking about in this server, and they don't have that answer, I think that's a bit suspicious, don't you think? Like, but you wouldn't question like, well, shit. I mean, I was deferring to this guy.
Do you mind if I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hell no.
Well, hell no. Well, thank you for letting me interject. You said people that know that we're talking about, right? Would you agree that like pilots know what they're talking about?
Depends.
I mean, they're in the sky all day, right?
Yeah, but what is the
my point I'm trying to make is, if you go to a lot of pilots and ask them, do you think the Earth is flat or round? And they said, from my perspective, I see the Earth is flat. They're not claiming the Earth is flat. They're not claiming the Earth is a globe. But from their perspective, it's clearly flat. And they fly around maybe 50 hours a week. They have more knowledge of the globe than we do, right?
Okay, so you're telling me like there's people with experience of flying over the Earth or getting on a boat and navigating across the surface of the water. Anybody doing that would have some type of knowledge of the Earth, whatever the Earth is. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
And
well, I'm not arguing you. I was agreeing with you. You know, in terms of.
I'm asking you some follow-up questions. And would you then say that because they're traveling over the surface of the Earth, then they would have some knowledge that the Earth is whatever, if it's a shape or if it's not a shape, they would be able to tell
you. Exactly, Mayhem. What I actually say is they never dip. They never dip to curvature ever. They just go they fly in a straight line.
My question to you would be, why do they have more knowledge of the globe than us? Because they fly in the sky?
No. That's not my claim. I said that at the beginning. It's perspective. They won't claim whether it's flat or round, the whole Earth. But from their perspective of their job, they only say we perceive the Earth as flat. That's the way they claim it.
I heard you say that. Yeah, so I'm trying to address something else. You said.
What
did I say? Because I'm pretty sure what I said was through perspective.
Hang on. Let me look at it this way, right? Let's say we have a court case here, and these guys have evidence because they're pilots and they're sailors and all that. They come into court and we're like, okay, so we need some evidence that the Earth is a globe, and then you hear the testimony. They're like, oh, check this out. I've been flying for American Airlines for over 20 years, and from my perspective, the Earth is a globe. Do you think that but just check this out. Do you think that what they say would carry any weight in a courtroom because they just said, okay, well, because I've been a pilot for 20 years, that when I say that the Earth I'm flying over a globe, that you're going to have to take my testimony as evidence?
Mayhem, I said the complete opposite.
I understand that, but what I'm asking you is, I heard what you said, but what I'm telling you is that if somebody came in there and said that, because there are people that do say that, by the way. So if there are people that say that, would you consider that as evidence?
No, and by the way, I've never heard a pilot claim the Earth is a globe just because of his experience.
Yeah, you haven't met the ones that I've talked to. Anyway.
Oh, really? Okay. Sorry.
I'm dead serious. I would check this out. So if somebody does say, like what the pilots have you heard, that the Earth prospectively looks flat from wherever they're flying it, they're playing, then would you then do the same as you did with the pilot who said that it's a globe, accept that as evidence?
No.
So we don't accept that the people who are flying planes, either they see it as in their perspective as flat or a globe, and we don't accept that as evidence then, correct?
I agree.
Okay. We're on the same page then.
But the point I was trying to the point I was trying to I was interjecting for a reason to maybe argue with Tiny a little bit. Wait, is he still here? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I don't know.
So the point, Tiny, is no one really has proof whether it's a globe. Not even pilots.
Well, I wouldn't phrase it that way. But listen, I don't know what level is this gentleman that's speaking right now. I don't know if he's brand new to the server.
No, I'm not brand new. I mean, I joined back recently, but I'm not brand new. No.
All right. What I would say is then, sir, I don't know who you are right now at the moment. Like, I haven't got to know you, but there is a lot that you need to learn from this specific group. Now, I don't mean that in a demeaning way. I would mean that in a way.
No, I understand.
We do a lot of kind of teaching on how to deal with conversations and such. So, if you're not in the forefront or taking point, I would say just please put yourself on mute, because what happens is I'm going to have to go against some of the points you made, and I didn't want to do that just to put so you can have egg on your face, because I do think that everybody's a part of the server is dear to me. I want you guys to actually learn how to do these arguments. So if you can, just mute yourself for a moment, while I have a conversation with this gentleman. But I would also like to point out that there is actual evidence that the Earth is not curving. 100%. You can know that it's not a globe, and it does not have any convexity to it. 100%. You can know. So, going back to the point where I was showing the gentleman, and I forgot your name, so Tiny, I think that's your name, that a lot of people come into the server with the idea that they think that the Earth is a globe, and I asked them the same questions. Do you know And they would say, yeah, sure. But when I ask them, how do you know specifically? They would say the same thing you did. Well, I really don't know. And then defer to, let's say, somebody in the academic fields. Well, the astrophysicist or the cosmologist or my teacher, my professor, whoever knows, and I don't know because I haven't been studying that. That's the same. It's like a generic answer, basically. We hear that. It's pretty common. All right, but so what I'm trying to do right now is for you to engage with this conversation in a way that probably gets your mind to think a little bit, right? That's all. I'm not trying to demean anyone in any way, but I really want you guys to focus on what's being said here. So the gentleman came in here with the knowledge of thinking, yeah, of course. I would just, if somebody was to ask me on the street, how do I know the Earth is a globe? I will tell them you're an idiot and walk away. Do you honestly think that critically thinking humans can approach each other that way, or can we be civil and say, well, let's reason with each other. How do we know the Earth's a globe? Let's figure this out. Which is kind of the way I think the approach should be if anybody's inquiring. Like, if we don't know the answer should be, honestly, I don't know. But if we do know the answer, let's give it to them, right? And that's all I'm saying. If you say, yes, I know the Earth's a globe, well, give me the answer. Tell me how it's a globe, specifically. How do you know? So it's basically just kind of giving you guys a bit of education of how to approach this topic, because a lot of people have never been asked the question, because it's almost like, well, we learned that back in 3rd grade when the teacher told us to turn to page 42, and we looked at the solar system and saw that we were a planet floating around in the vacuum of space. So a lot of people think, well, yeah, it's just a foregone conclusion. It's not something I need to re-examine, which is what we're doing here. We're actually taking a closer look at the information and see if anything can match up to going and testing the Earth and so forth. So what I want to do is I want to get you guys to start thinking a little bit. If you haven't done this before, it's a good exercise, right? So the question that I would start asking the whole room, and I don't know how many Globers or people who think the Earth is a globe is in here, but I would ask everybody in here the same question, right? The question is, who has ever measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history? Somebody's mic is scratchy. Can you please put yourself on mute, please? Somebody's mic is really scratchy.
It's the bad faith actor you're trying to talk to right now. He's not really actually listening.
There's somebody scratching their mic and moving around, so can you please mute your mic, please? Locally mute. Or I'll have the moderator mute you either way. But you will get muted. Please. Thank you. All right, so what it is the question that actually is going to get you to start to think about the answers, right? So the first question is, how do we know, who has ever measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history, as in drop over distance? Who has ever measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history, as in drop over distance? And so the question is specifically about the geometry of the Earth. The geometry of the Earth is said to be an oblate spheroid. And if that is true, then anywhere we go on the surface of the Earth, it should measure per the 8 inches per mile squared, as the values of the Earth are said to be radius, diameter, circumference, with the radius value of 3959, the circumference at 24,901 miles, and the diameter is half that. So we have to understand that if we're getting the math already, if we have values, then we know the size of the Earth, which means that because we have math and geometry, we're able to now define this surface of the Earth. We can know by what rate the curvature starts to descend or drop, at what rate it drops. So on the surface of the Earth, because it's tangible, right? You're standing on it. It's able to be measured. So now we need to move off into the field, which is what CB was actually implying there. He's like, well, now let's go out into the field and test it. Because a lot of people don't want to do that, and it's as simple as going outside. If there is to be a drop rate over a distance, well, we don't want to really do it over land because we got land topography. As you may or may not know, there's hills and valleys, right? There's dips, and there's, there's a bit of, different elevations to this Earth because of the Earth itself. So what we need to do is go to water. Water on the surface of the water, it's pretty level. Because as you can tell, and I'll give you a little something so you can test it out, right? If you hold a bottle of water, right, in your hand, and you turn that bottle of water in any direction, the surface of that water inside of that bottle holds its rigidity in space. That means that the surface of that water inside of that bottle always remains flat and level to the surface of the ground that you're standing on. And you can manipulate the container in any direction, and it will always remain flat and level to the ground that it's directly parallel to. So the surface of the water in that bottle, any way you manipulate that container, will always remain flat and level to the ground. Therefore, if that is true, then water would be the perfect thing to measure over, because it holds rigidity in space and is always flat and level to the ground. Therefore, if we're going to do any measurements, it should be over water, because that is the flattest surface on Earth that we can measure over long distances without any land topography to get in the way of our measurements. So, therefore, let us go out into the field. Let us do some tests over water, over many miles, let's say, and see if there's any drop rate over distance. Because the consequent of the Earth being an oblate spheroid would mean that the surface has curvature and we couldn't measure it. Just like we would if we had a sphere in our hands, like a basketball. We'd be able to measure from point A to point B on any part of that basketball, surface curvature. With the same idea, we'd go out onto the field and do the very same thing. We'd be able to measure a drop rate over distance. So if we're from point A to point B, from point of origin to target, we'd be able to measure curvature. And we'd find the sagittale, the hump of Earth curve, in between point A to point B. As simple as that. There would be no distinction of us saying that, well, we can't find it, because a measurement is just that. It's measuring from point A to point B how much drop rate there would be, and then we'd be able to figure it out. So the question now is, that's the very first question that I'm asking you guys to think about. Has anybody ever done this? Ever in history? Or in recent times? Does this make any sense to you guys? If you're thinking that the Earth is a globe, what I just asked right now, has anybody ever measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history, as in drop over distance?
Hell no!
Yo, Miggy, both of them, one of them left the server, and the one you were talking to left the server. He was the one with the scratchy mic, not even listening. And then Jim left the call.
These guys are all crying about their injuries. They've been whining about how hard this is, and then they quit. It makes me sick.
They were both just horrible actors anyway. I mean, I don't know if you guys could tell, but they were terrible actors.
Kind of sound like they were on something too.
Yeah, well, they came in holding hands, and one of them pretended to be the flat earther, and the other one was the troll. Bro, that was just, I think they got exposed.
He's like, there's no way. He's like, there's no way to tell if the Earth is flat or... what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, well, and he's like, well, the pilots know more about it than anyone. What? Why would they? You're just saying shit, bro. Like, you're just...
Yeah, he's just saying... Ah, well, at least the audience heard.
Yeah, right. Now the audience definitely... Somebody in the chat right now, I just believe what major scientists tell me, bro. That's what this is the thing I'm trying to help them understand, is that they're not telling you anything. You've imagined this entity. You've imagined people saying things to you. You don't. If I were to ask you who is telling you what specifically, that they wouldn't be able to say who it is or what exactly they're saying. So these guys have imaginary friends. They're imagining a vague entity, a shadowy group of people that have the answers. That doesn't exist.
I'm telling you, man, it all has to do with a culmination of many different things that attacks the mind. There's a bad diet, bad water, bad air, like everything. It all just like erodes the mind. Like everything's just like it puts you in a bad state, man. It really does. Like if you're not in alignment with your health and with your mind, like one's like a domino effect affects the other. Especially if your spirit is not calm, and stirred up. And there's many other factors, like being on medication and just different things. It's hard to stay focused. And you're just not able to come in here and have a conversation. There's no way. No, there's no way to reason with somebody like that. Such as it is, I mean, we're just gonna have to keep it moving, I guess. We always hope, don't we, guys?
Yeah,
Always
I
hope.
know. I feel like, you put your best foot forward. I tried to put my best foot forward, and all he had to say was, "I don't like your tone. You're being mean to me. Oh, you're playing sounds on the soundboard. I don't like it." Like, dude, you
Well,
guys
it's
don't
just
have
like
to.
many people on the street. I honestly think his reaction is a genuine one. If you were to ask that guy on the street, how does he know the Earth's a globe? He'd probably flip you off and tell you to go to hell or something. Like, yeah, he wouldn't specify. He'd be like, look, I know that the Earth is a globe, and let me tell you how.
Someone in the chat was saying that literally. They were like, it just literally is, bro. Oh, how do you know
It
that?
just literally is.
Literally is. It's like
It
that's
literally is, man. No, but how do you know? Well, dude, I don't spend hours studying this.
right.
I would just tell you the scientist knows. You bring the scientist in here, you're like, all right, dude, everybody leans on you. You're now in the hot seat. Tell us, please, how the Earth is a globe. Well, you see, that's not my field of expertise. It's like they all pawn it off to the next, and then you get the
Yes.
guy who's actually, in the field, and he's like, well,
I don't know.
that's not my specific field of expertise. You'd have to talk to the hypercosmologist next door.
Right.
You go to the hypercosmologist, and he's like, well, we don't know about 99.9% of everything out in the universe, so I couldn't answer that question. I don't know what gravity is. What? Next question.
Yep. They just point to the next person, and I'm here to remind all of them that you guys got to stop imagining this group, this shadowy entity, this vague panel of people. They do not exist. That is a big problem. They all have. They all imagine some
You know what?
brains in the corner got the answers. That group does not exist.
DB, you need to look for the song from the American Tail. It's like a cartoon about a mouse. Fievel. And the song that it's called Somewhere Out There. Check it out. Because it sounds like these guys, every time they start saying that, well, I don't know, somewhere out there somebody knows the answer. Somebody's got the answer to this. And that song should be playing like in a
Is he roboting for you guys too, or just me? Nigga, domo arigato, bro. What should I look up to find that though? I can Google it. I can just search it up right now. He's roboting. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back, guys. One second.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Hello?
You're coming in loud and clear.
Lost one, this is lost two, over.
This is Lost 2. Hearing you loud and clear. Over.
Okay, we're back. And we're back. Yeah, the song is it's from an old cartoon. It's called American Tail. And it's got a main theme song that's called Somewhere Out There. Because that's the kind of song they're singing when they're in here. I don't know who's got the answer, but somebody somewhere out there's got it. I ain't gonna help you today. Or like the other guy, Ice Cold or whatever his name is. He said he's gonna tell you the truth when he feels in the mood. You'll know the truth when he's in the mood. He'll tell you. If he hadn't had his chocolate milk and foot rubs and he feels great, then he won't tell you. Until then. Hey, we got Julius J in the house. Julius, you there, bro?
I don't know about Julius, but I'm back, baby. But dude, that was a funny conversation. Like, dude, what is it about me? It's like, dude, Elijah. This happens with him too. People will be like, "I just don't like you, Elijah. What your tone, the way you speak." Like, bro, I'm trying my best here to be a nice cop. It's just funny how like certain people get triggered by other people. Like
Well,
sometimes they
see,
don't
you
like
don't
Mickey. They'll
understand.
be like, "I don't
You
like
don't
Mickey."
understand, CB. You don't understand. It's like ants on like an amoeba on a beach ball. You're like, no. It just like immediately goes into like, oh, you done messed up, man. Now it's like, I'm not gonna let.
Well, that happens every once in a while. Like folks will be like, "I just don't like that guy." Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Trey, sometimes it's Elijah. I just find it funny. Like, and they really can't focus on the evidence or the things on the table.
He's like, no, I'm not gonna talk to you, Joe. Anyways, Mayhem.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work here today. I heard you. You're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, bro. Like this is open panel. Sorry, bro. Like you don't get to like navigate the room. Yeah, those guys were just low actors in my opinion. They weren't really here in good faith. But they were content. We made content out of them, so whatever. It is what it is, man.
They dipped out of the server themselves?
He literally left the server while you were talking. Like, dude, they didn't give a fuck. So
How rude.
Notice how they were engaged when I was talking to him, even though it triggered them. But I want to talk to Mayhem, but I'm not going to listen, bro. Like, whatever, bro. It was enough.
What else do we have on the docket today, TB?
I know. What do we have on the docket? The lobby's been popping. So if you guys are bored and need something to do, go hit up the lobby. See if we can get some fresh meat in the panel. I gotta
fish one of those now.
I know, right? Freaking! This is for the guys that just came in.
That's what happens every time one of you little crybabies gets called out here on the platform you came to get attention you asked for. When you get more smoke than you're willing to handle, you want to cry and stomp off.
That's exactly what happened, isn't it, fellas? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a short clip for my sentiment.
Is there no one else? Is there no one else?
Yeah, that's perfect, Trace. That's perfect, dude. For real. Or I feel like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
And it's
You're a robot?
Huh?
No,
I'm not a robot.
You look like a robot.
Trace, I love those. I don't know how you do it, but keep those coming, dude. Yeah, hopefully Mickey will get a good connection here. But yeah, shout out to Northern Rebellion. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Mickey, let's do a radio check. Can you hear us? Radio check 1 2. Mayhem 100. Does this mic work?
Does this mic work? Well then, down mic. What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.